Hello. Bees are dying. I know that you hear that a lot all over the place, but it's not an over exaggeration. I want to persuade you into using certain methods, more natural methods, in your lawn work or in the outdoors, whether you're a farmer or you just have a house that you work outside on. And um, I will be using some information from the National Resources Defense Council, the NRDC, which was written online on April 29th, 2022. They say that the main issue is pesticides. Pesticides kill everything, and there are a lot of different options that people can use that won't kill everything. One such example is neem oil. Neem oil is a natural pesticide that kills things like aphids, but doesn't kill bees, for example. Um, there is a very large lack of biodiversity. There is a very large lack of biodiversity in our landscapes, our cityscapes. There is no food around, and because there is no food, there is nothing to keep the bees alive. Now, the USC Dornsife website, written on January 16th, 2024, states that um, the lack of natural spaces and the abundance of paved surfaces has heavily affected the biodiversity across all different insect families. Um, this can all be mitigated by creating more natural spaces in our cities that are dedicated to the insects. I want to go further into the lack of green spaces and how that lack ends up leading us to use pesticides. The reason that happens is that there is nothing to challenge the pests that are in our cities because we have the lack of these green spaces. Green and native garden spaces actually attract insects that are beneficial to us. For example, the National Pesticide Info Center wrote in July 23rd, 2025, an online article about how there are beneficial insects, including different types of spiders or praying mantises, ladybugs that eat aphids, all different creatures that, if we had these natural spaces, would come into our cities and would then eat the creatures that we don't like. Final point I'd like to make is from an online source again, Frontier Group, written February 2023 of 2024, which is that in between the years 2022 and 2023, beekeepers lost 48% of their colonies. That's a lot of bee colonies. So clearly there is an issue. And that's coming from the fact that bees can only create so many reserves. And what's happening is there's a lot of these farms that are creating these monoculture spaces. And in these monoculture spaces, there's nothing for the bees to eat. So let's say there's a plum orchard, right? The bees are able to eat the pollen, create honey, and eat the honey from the pollen of those plum trees for the season that the plums are flowering. But then for the rest of the year, which is summer, fall, winter, they have to keep those reserves and deal with only having those reserves. Now, if you have a more biodiverse landscape, then the bees are able to pick at different food sources throughout the year and are able to survive. And that comes from our natural spaces. A lot of our flowers bloom at different times throughout the year, which create a constant food source for all different insects. So, bees are dying because their environments are being destroyed. And they have been destroyed for a long time. We can help, and we can help by creating these natural spaces. I hope that you have been persuaded that there are methods to fix this lack of bee problem and this bee disappearance issue. Um, and I say let's keep our cities biodiverse.